JJ actually asked me, "Do you still go hunting, Dad?" Well, not that I don't. It's just I told him, "Hey, bud, I didn't grow up doing that. Like, I didn't know any of that stuff until later on in my life, like 10 years ago, maybe less than that about hunting. That I actually kind of enjoy that. Like, you know, for me, I told him I didn't have like a dad or someone to show me these things. It was just my mom. The cool thing is, like, he wants to go fishing. He just asked me this morning.
Oh, that's cool. God, Elliot.
He was like, I really want to go fishing. I was like, you know what? We'll try to go fishing this coming week, you know, which I really want to try, because that's the thing I was thinking about. Was I always complain, like, think to myself, I can't do this stuff. But here it is, like, my son wants to do this, and, you know, I always have the excuse, I don't know how to do this, because I've never done it. But it's like, well, let's learn this together. You know, we can make this that's like a core memory now. Right. Oh yeah, I learned fishing with my dad
for sure.
You know, and then, you know, I don't think about me teaching my son to fish, which is helping me learn. But when he's older, he's going to be that much ahead to teach his kids. Welcome back to Just Weirdly Blended. I'm Jesse.
And I'm Tom.
I just feel cool when I have my hat down this low.
I don't think I've ever pulled my hat down that low.
It looks weird. When you see it on the camera, it looks so stupid. Isn't that what some guys do? They're like, what's up, girl?
You're scaring me. I don't trust a guy whose eyes I can't see.
Can't see and shit.
Walking in the walls.
But I look smoldering and sexy. Smoldering, that's such a good word.
Smoldering. Yeah, it's a
cool word,
right?
Yeah, I like it.
Smoldering. Her smoldering eyes.
Yeah, his smoldering good looks.
Yeah.
That was like the Rock's superpower, I think, in Jumanji. It's like he had a smolder.
Yeah, that's
or something.
Right. Yeah, and he would do that look, and
Like,
yeah.
But what were you saying about Blanca?
She played me a video this morning. Speaking about not being able to see a guy's eyes and creepy stuff, which you barely
was it
touch on. This it was a video of this dad that shot this guy.
Oh,
speaking about not being able to see somebody's eyes and a creepy guy, this boyfriend, I guess, tried to reach out to this girl, and there's doorbell video.
Okay.
Of the mom and the daughter coming up to the door, and this car pulls into the driveway behind them, and the mom's like, "Who's that?" to the daughter, and she's like, "I don't know." And they get in the house. Well, then this kid, like this guy, probably like young 20s, late teens, walks up to the door and starts like knocking on it and demanding to talk to the daughter, and then he starts like body checking the door. So the dad's on the other side trying to hold the door closed. Well, apparently at some point,
I just feel it sounds familiar.
You probably have seen it,
but go ahead.
It was pretty nuts. So like he ends up knocking the dad off his feet.
Oh shit!
And almost like getting through the door. So the dad, I guess, ran to his room and grabbed his gun and came back and shot 3 times through the door, killed this kid.
Oh shit!
So, but it's like it was a crazy video. I'm like, man, like
he's justified. I don't know.
I'm like if the kid's strong enough to knock an adult man off his feet, and like,
I mean, are they saying that wasn't justified, or is they it's just the video?
Some people, it's just like the full. It was an A&E police type thing. Yeah. So I mean, their take was positive, but then of course you get some negative, and it's like, I don't know. It's a big deal to take somebody's life. Don't get me wrong. But
at what point is it like, okay, I gotta?
Well, right. I mean, the kid obviously wasn't there to talk to her, and like he wouldn't show his hands either. So yeah,
you don't know. Does he have a knife, a gun? Right. Does he have a bazooka? You don't know.
So if any kid comes to my house with his hat pulled down over his eyes.
Oh no, dude. I remember when I was drinking, I was we were doing a barbecue or something at the house. My oldest, Sadia, she was gonna go somewhere with like her friend, and you know, he's a boy or something. Or something. I don't know. I don't know what he identified as.
I mean, I don't. Yeah, how do I know?
I know. I'm not trying to assume here.
Just because he has a dick doesn't mean he's a boy. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, but
anyway, go ahead.
The words we say, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you know.
Choose these weird words, and it's like it changes the whole concept of the sentence. But anyway, I was buzzing pretty good, and I was like, "Who the fuck are you?" Yeah, I went up there acting, hard. But
just
to scare him a little bit.
Real low.
So that's what I want to do to, boys.
Yeah.
Anybody comes to my house, just to, one, be funny to see how they handle it.
Yeah.
Right. And two, just to see how they handle it.
Just play some games. Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, what are you fucking doing? No, Sadia has a friend. He came to our house and he wanted to like meet us and stuff. He seems like a good kid.
Yeah. You told us about this.
Yeah. So he.
The one that took JJ to church.
Yep. JJ didn't like it because there was a lot of baptizing happening, and so they didn't bust out into children's church, so he didn't get to experience that part. Which he was like, I don't know if I want to go back. Like, well, if you go, you go. Right.
Nothing's better than doing arts and crafts.
She's actually been liking it, so it must be doing something good for her. So
good. Hey, you know what? Yeah, church can be a very good thing. Yeah.
That's what we
at times and.
Alicia goes, as soon as you start Bible thumping and saying stuff to me, no,
you're done. Well, no,
she's happy, she enjoys it, but it's like when it gets to the point like you're living a bad life, you need to change your life, right, like that kind of stuff. That's when it's like,
no, I mean, like that's the thing is like for me personally, I don't go to church, but like for example, I work with a guy that is very active in his church and very religious and spiritual that way.
Yeah.
And honestly, lives by his code, and I really admire him. I mean, it's like he's kind of like what I think. If I think of like a Christian, I think, well, that's what this guy is. Yeah. But I've also known a lot of people that weren't like that. So,
same.
It's like I don't know.
It's a preference
for people that need it. It's a great thing.
Yeah.
If
it's working and it's helping you,
right? I know a lot of people that have
it's like therapy, like us for this. This is our church,
right?
What I mean?
And if a lot of people that have had substance abuse issues and stuff often turn to God, and hey, like that
murderers, they do it all the time,
right? Like, hey, you're gonna kill me now? Oh, hey. I love
Jesus, man.
Apparently,
he forgives. If he can forgive me,
what's wrong? Yeah,
you should.
I don't care what society says about me. I don't care about my God. God damn it. Like, yeah, I'm like, well, it's a little late now.
You know what? No, you're not forgiven.
Speaking of that, I've been watching the show.
You're a serial killer.
I've been watching a lot of murder shit lately, as I told you about.
I love that stuff. I was trying to remember the name. You were
so
the one you.
So there's a podcast I started listening to called Serial Killers. On Spotify. And
there's one called Serial you should check out.
I probably like that one too. Yeah. I like the crazy stuff, but man, some of these stories are so nuts. You're like, it's like a whole nother level that you're like, what?
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy. This one show I'm watching right now, it's on Peacock.
Mm-hmm.
And there was this doctor in like the 70s and 80s that worked in the Utah prison system. I can't remember the name of this show.
Okay.
But he did a bunch of intake interviews, and like he had to do evaluations for the courts for sentencing on a lot of these like bad murder type people. Yeah. And so he would record it, and then he kind of theorized on like the turning point of a person. Like, what's that moment where somebody goes from being like a decent person who maybe has like
to like
bad
a serial
thoughts or
killer
tendencies to like letting go and just being like their worst self. And
but they're being their best self. They're living their truth.
Yeah. What if God made them that way on purpose?
What's that movie? Frailty or something like that?
That sounds like I don't know if I ever saw it, but it sounds like a movie.
There is a movie where it's kind of like that. God like tells them to do this stuff, and so they kill these people. Path. But it was weird because it's a trip because there's a point where they're on video, but it's like blurs their face.
Yeah. Right.
But anyway, go ahead. Sorry, this show.
No. It's a fascinating show.
I think you were telling me about that one.
Yeah. Some of the episodes are a little bit tougher because there's some people like children's stuff.
Oh, I don't. Yeah,
that's harder. But
it is weird. The mind of a psycho.
Yeah, it's a little less comfortable. And it's none of it should be comfortable because like real people died. That's a horrible thing.
Yeah.
But there's
something comforting in watching this show.
Value in just the mental side of these people. But yeah,
I think that's a human nature, though, is to want to know why,
to understand it. I think it's a control thing. Like it feels so out of control that someone could be like that.
Oh yeah,
because it is kind of scary to think like there's people like that just walking around.
No, I know that's
so it's like
it could be your neighbor, it could be someone.
So you want to understand it, but like, is there any one particular thing that it is?
Right.
You know, is it just, I think it seems like it's like you have to kind of be born with the capacity for it, and then certain things have to happen the right way, and then you just have to be that type of person to go with it.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
So much has to come together, it seems. I don't know.
So I don't know if this is something you had mentioned or if it's from the show Suits that me and Elisa started watching, which is a cool show.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to say it was the Suits, but the guy basically says like lawyers and like business type cutthroat people, they're basically sociopaths,
right?
But they just chose to use that for business because them being cutthroat and doing that, like they don't care that it hurts your feelings because they don't because they don't have that feeling. They don't care what it's doing. And,
right.
You know, my pockets are getting big. I don't care.
Right.
And they're saying that was the difference between that and a serial killer.
Yeah.
That they took that passion to,
right.
You know what? I know I shouldn't do that. So let me be a businessman.
Serial killers get their validation through like the control, manipulation, and murder.
So I'll manipulate funding instead of like a person.
Right, them, it's like, here's the bottom line. My mission is to serve myself. I get paid more if the company does well. You're in my way.
Exactly.
So I can gut you. It doesn't matter to me.
It was really cool the way he says it in that show, and I was like, you know what? That's pretty. That's actually good.
Let the show have credit. I mean, I would like the credit, but
I don't know if it was you or the show.
It probably was a show. But no, I have definitely heard that.
I'll give you 75%.
And you know, I mean, again, I'm not a psychiatrist.
I only play one on a podcast,
which is actually really funny because the podcast that I've been listening to, I like. There's always a moment in the beginning where there's like a guy and a lady, and the guy's always like, so-and-so is going to take over on the psychology here. I want to remind the audience that she's not a trained psychiatrist, blah, blah, blah. And she goes, thanks, and like says his name. And I always like laugh to myself because I'm like, I can see that being like, you know, like kind of a double-sided thanks.
Yeah, like he's saying it as he's saying it as like a dick move.
Just want to remind you, she does not know what the fuck she's talking about.
She's nuts.
No, but it's a good show. Like they cite like a lot of articles and stuff. So like they do a lot of research for their takes on things. But it's like a lot of stories I've never heard before. Like everybody knows who Ted Bundy is.
Yeah. It's like the no names.
Yeah, you get like these guys out of like Australia.
See, I feel like they'd be crazier.
Go figure that Australia would have serial killers. Like it's a whole country founded on the prisoners of Britain. But
who knew?
Like, I mean, but
is that in the DNA?
Heard of any.
Do you think serial killing, it's like it's a thing in the blood, or it's like something in you?
I don't think it's like so
like hereditary. I guess
wouldn't it be? Wouldn't
it's the term I should
wouldn't
have said.
Like Ted Bundy's kid or grandkid, or you know what I mean? Like I don't know that it's so direct that way.
Well, you know, what if it's that rare? 1 in 100,000 Bundys are going to be serial killers.
I do wonder how much of it is like brain trauma.
Does he have kids?
Of thing? Bundy, no. He had like a stepdaughter that wasn't that was a great show. Ted Bundy,
Uncut,
whatever the hell it was. It was the one
Uncensored.
with the Ted Bundy Spring Break. It's wild.
Ted Bundy gone wild.
Let loose. Oh my god, that was
Zac Efron. I think was Ted Bundy.
Yeah, so he did that, and then Netflix did something. But there was a documentary series on another network, Falling For or something like that. They've interviewed the gal that was with him, like she dated him for years.
Oh yeah.
And that was find it if you, I don't know what the name is, but if you can just Google all the different documentaries. It was so fascinating because this lady had lived with him, like she had been an intimate partner with him.
That'd be wild.
And she suspected him, like as she was hearing things and putting pieces together in his attitude. One time he almost the Yakima River, it's kind of by where we live.
Yeah.
And he took her out on a raft, like in the water. And at one point he almost knocked her in the water and kind of held her down like he was going to drown her.
Oh, I think you mentioned that.
Yeah, and she like looks at him and she's like, his eyes were like gone. Like he was gone. And then he came back and he like puts her up and is like, I was just kidding. I was just playing. But she's like, there were just these things. And you listen to her talk and it's like such a unique perspective of this like horrible
She's
thing.
full of shit. She would have said that if he was in there killer.
Yeah. Oh, but if he's ugly, he would.
Yeah. Switching gears, I found IPA alcohol, non-alcohol alcohol.
Yeah, we were just talking about this last weekend.
Yeah, and so I went to the store. Before I came here, I was like, hey, Tom, you need anything? He's like, no.
I'm being good. I'm going to drink water.
And I'm going to drink an Energy Celsius, which I love the Celsius. It's more like vitamin D.
Yeah.
So it has like a vitamin taste.
So it's good for your body.
Probably not.
Yeah, it's good for your body.
I need to actually lay off of anything caffeinated like that. But anyway, they had this beer, non-alcoholic beer, which we had the other one, the Golden Shower one.
Same company.
Was it called Goldgate or something?
Golden Shower I like more, but not to participate. But
refreshing Golden Shower.
So Run Wild IPA, Athletic Brewing Company.
Yeah.
Non-alcoholic brew, contains less than 0.5% alcohol. So there's a tiny bit.
I guess.
But like not enough to matter.
Yeah.
That's why you got carded, I guess.
Yeah, I got carded.
So you'd have to drink like 800 of these to get
1,000.
Like,
I'm gonna try it anyway. Is that ruining my?
I don't know. I don't think so because it's like trace amounts, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I guess I can't go to jail.
What do you think? You can't take me to jail.
I ain't drunk.
I'll do what I want. You can't take me to jail. Here we go. All right. Yeah, that's an IPA. That's a good IPA.
That's super hoppy.
Yep.
It makes me hoppy.
That's IPA. I'm so hoppy. Yeah.
That tastes just like beer.
This is an IPA I'd sit down and drink at night before bed.
I would drink this before I go to sleep.
Yeah, for real.
100%.
This would make me real loose.
Mellow me out.
This makes me feel like I'm being bad when I'm really being so good.
So this is what I drank that day.
Yeah,
when I was at the my wife's cousin Coaster. When I was at
65 calories.
But he had me try this one, and that's where I was like, I felt guilty because I felt like I was drinking because it tastes so much like beer.
That's crazy.
Like I don't know, maybe I'd have to drink an actual beer and taste the difference. But to me, if I tried this, not seeing the can, it was just a blind test, I would have thought this was beer.
I'm not going to lie to you. They could give me this can, and I would not look close enough to realize it. I would be acting drunk in like 3 of these. Probably.
Fuck, man. I'm so just like...
I just get loud. I would just be getting louder and louder. In fact, during the course of this podcast, I could just get louder and louder. As I
bought a sixer, which is hilarious.
Yeah, we have a 6-pack of these guys. How awesome is that? That's pretty cool.
Well, I'm going to barbecue some chicken later, so maybe I'll just drink this.
There you go.
Feel like I'm drinking again.
Man.
But yeah, no, it's
Could this be a catalyst for someone to go back to alcohol?
Yes.
Yeah, you think so?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Instantly?
I don't know if instantly is the word, but I wouldn't put it past like someone saying, damn, I want the real shit now.
Yeah, no, I'm not getting
But like for me, I can see myself wanting to drink just to get that buzz. But I don't want that buzz. You know, I don't miss being buzzed, but
there is a flavor to beer. Like we said last weekend, like beer has a particular flavor, and once you've acquired the taste for it, like it is a unique flavor sensation, right?
Like for me, I actually preferred the one we had last week over this one.
Yeah. Because you don't like the hoppiness as much, right? And I kind of go back and forth. I'm like, it's like I like coffee, right? You got your darks, you got your like,
which I like a stronger, like a dark coffee.
Yeah, and I tend to like the darker, heavier stuff. But sometimes it's nice to dabble in something a little lighter.
Yeah,
kind of like your serial killer stuff.
Heroin. Yeah. But every now and then,
once in a while, I need to pick me up.
I like a little Coke.
Yeah,
you know.
So then I mix them both together, and I have an 8-ball.
Is that what it is, right?
I think
is it those two?
I think. Well, it used to be.
I don't know.
Now it's like I probably don't even know what it would be now. I don't even really know for sure what it used to be. I just remember hearing the term 8-ball, and at some point hearing it was the two of those together.
Yeah,
which it does make sense because one is supposed to bring you down.
I would Google what is an 8-ball, but I'm just gonna be like, it's part of the pool.
Yeah, right.
It's part of billiards.
You're an idiot.
Billiards.
Yeah. Billiards.
That's a stupid word too.
Billiard table. You know, like, isn't the official billiard table gigantic? Like I think like a real like you have like your standard like what I have downstairs.
Well, like competitive style or
yeah, well like there's like an official like like a tournament.
So like you have a swimming pool, but you don't have an Olympic swimming pool.
Right, exactly. So there's like an official like Olympic pool, right?
Yeah.
I think it's like 12 feet by like 8.5 feet or something. It's like,
bro, for real?
Yeah, it is like a real.
Dude, so my table at home is 9 feet long.
Right. So this pool table would be way
3
bigger.
feet longer, which trips me out because my table is about the size of your pool table downstairs.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
But I'm like, I can't imagine it being that big.
Yeah, because I have one that's like your normal size, like what you'd expect.
See, I feel like that's just
if you went into somebody's house and you saw a pool table, like the width of a king size bed.
I would think it was the fake pool table. Like I would think it was like a little gimmicky.
Wouldn't you feel like at that level you would need like a fake like war diagram or something? Like if it was that big, it would be like so you could play army soldiers on it or something.
Like you're in the Civil War reenact.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
We're gonna overtake over here.
Remember in Tora? Is that the movie where the guys are like in the shallow pool playing with the little boats?
I don't think I've seen that movie.
Oh man, it's an old one. I had to watch it in school. It was about Pearl
Sounds
Harbor.
black and white.
It wasn't black and white. I don't think. I think it was in color, but so it wasn't that old, but it was like definitely like 70s.
Yeah.
And I remember this general like or whatever was sitting and he was like ordering guys to move like little real boats, like toy boats in the water as he's like making this military plan all like mean. It was crazy.
Is this a funny movie?
No, it was very serious. It was about the Japanese bombing Pearl Harbor.
That's hilarious.
But they were like they're war planning with like little model boats. Which I'm like, that's dope. I do that all the time.
That'd
like,
be fun.
Hey,
huh?
Move that one over there. Why? Yeah. I just want to see
we're
what
in
it
the
looks
Pacific
like.
Ocean. We're mimicking. We're in the ocean.
Right. Now go to the deep end, stupid. Take the boat over there. You're so dumb.
Yeah. That's Japan's the deep end. Which one's deeper, Hawaii or Japan?
Deeper?
Which one has deeper ocean? I'm just kidding.
I don't know.
I'm asking
because Japan's Pacific on one side, and on the other side is the South China Sea. Right?
Yep. Yeah. That's right.
Mariana Trench. Mariana Trench is over there. So deepest technically would be the Pacific Ocean side. Yeah. Oh.
I still want to see down the deep ocean.
Man.
Well, I was asking him off camera because I have like a list that I have.
Yeah, he's smart. He takes notes during the week. I don't
sometimes, and then there's notes that I have on here that I don't think we've gotten into. But one of those notes was about space.
Yeah,
and how scary space. How scary is space because there is no sound in space. So when you see something blow up, I was just telling Alicia about this because of that show I was watching, the movie I was watching, 65. He's like they're in a spaceship, and so you hear stuff on the outside. I was like, did you know in space you don't hear any of that shit?
It's a vacuum.
That trips me out.
All you hear is a loud sucking sound.
You sound like my ex.
Didn't they say like you do hear like static? Isn't it like the only thing you hear? Like there's a slight static from like the original radiation or something.
The original
radiation, not the new radiation.
What if we're just in Jesus' tummy?
I told you that. I think I've said that on
like we're in a body.
Yeah. What if we we don't know? We flat out don't know.
We could be like microorganisms
to come on this show. I've been listening to a shit ton of his little clips.
I love him.
He cracks me up because like he's just his delivery is very good.
But he really loves talking about it.
He loves talking about it. He's so like fired up about it all the time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I wish I understood a fraction of what he understands. But I'm like, what if it's just like the end of Men in Black? And it's like,
we're just on a cat's fucking little,
like a little atom inside of a necklace around a cat's neck.
I don't know. That is a trip.
It's like so us. We could be in the femur of a bigger thing, life form.
Dude, so we got microtechnology then.
Yeah,
we would have technically nanotech.
Technically,
our tech would be better.
Old 1950s computers that took up an entire building would be nanotechnology. How crazy is that? It's all perspective.
Yeah. That he's saying that'd be nanotech.
That's nanotech.
If we were nano.
If we're nano, which who says we're not?
I'm going to just believe that.
What if and then
living on this flat Earth, I'm going to believe that.
But then, the Earth's flat. We're inside another person. Man, what if we're a cancer cell?
We're just a cancer. We're
what if,
Like
the way we're
not
killing
Americans,
our Earth, right?
Earthlings in general. We are kind of a cancer.
So it's so funny
because we're killing this planet, pretty much.
Another Neil deGrasse Tyson thing I saw yesterday. He was like, so the theory is that we can, and I'm going to rip him off here like I do every other podcast. But he's like, we want to go to Mars and take a situation that's not livable and create a perfect environment for which people can live. And he goes, if we can do that, why not just do it here? This guy's so freaking smart. I'm like, who thought? Just fix this place. What?
Nah.
Guys, we can fix here.
No, I just want to ship some people off. It's
a lot easier
they're going to throw Mexicans and black people. We're going to Mars.
At this point, it's just easier to fix Mars.
You know what? No. Get them out.
I tell you.
That is kind of crazy, though.
So the outer space, yeah. I get a little bit, but I get I understand space the way your dad watching National Geographic gets space. I get it.
I get it to a point.
I'm like the average guy's level of understanding space. These theoretical scientists and stuff, I'm like,
what's weird is it's not that I understand it, but I get it.
Yeah. Right.
So maybe I understand, but I'm like,
but the scale of it is the part that's so insane. I mean,
no, to me to not hear anything in space, to me that is wild. I can't fathom that. Right. I can't fathom that.
The pure radiation,
if I throw this across the room, you're going to hear it.
Right. But if you have a transmitter out in space or a receiver, you can still pick up anything we've ever transmitted through space.
Stupid.
You can't hear it.
That's so dumb.
So there was a Johnny Carson. There was a Johnny Carson short the other night. Johnny Carson's making shorts now, just so everyone knows.
They took out of the grave.
A little clip. It was the white Neil deGrasse Tyson 50 years ago.
Okay.
Whoever that guy was. And he was like, is it true that everything we've ever broadcast, everything we've ever said over radio or television is out there in space somewhere? And he goes, yes. He goes, actually, at this point, there's, I think he said 400 million mile wave somewhere out there in space that is carrying our first transmissions. So the receivers on a planet, but I'm going to say 400 million miles away, could pick up that signal and receive our videos. They would think, if they didn't understand how space works, that they were watching how we live today 40, 50 years ago.
How crazy is that, though?
Right?
That would be.
So now, here we're talking decades later than that clip.
Yeah, that's like when you see a star, but really in reality, that star's probably no longer.
Well, and that's why we have those huge, and we've had them for 20 years or whatever, where we have the big receivers that are trying to pick up anything transmitted from any other planet. So far, we're so smart; we're the only ones transmitting. But
yeah,
it's insane.
Haven't they picked some stuff where they've heard?
I think they picked some things. I don't think it's been
hello.
Well, I mean, it's probably alien language, wow.
Aliens are
English,
bro. We speak English.
They're still talking sexist and shit. Slapping the alien lady's ass.
Yeah. Cat calls. No, I think it is pretty funny that when we picture aliens, we probably do picture them speaking English.
But to pick up HBO, would they have to have a charter receiver? Would they have to pay for
it'd have to be better than charter.
Would they have to pay for for
the extra
service?
It's gonna be $199 for this extra gigabit.
Oh man, it's so nuts. So what if they transmit something differently and they don't even know to look for it?
It would be cool though. I mean,
so crazy.
I hope we find some crazy stuff out.
So there was another video. This lady was talking. I think she was talking to Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Okay.
Apparently I'm watching a shit ton of his stuff, but she was saying outer space. And he was talking about the idea of life being out there. And she goes, well, look at it this way. In our oceans, we know, if we compare the ocean to, outer space, if we took one glass of water out of the ocean on Earth and we looked into that glass and asked ourselves, are there fish? Well, no, there's no fish. Now think about that glass of water compared to all of the ocean.
Yeah.
The amount of space we know is like that glass.
That's crazy.
Compared to outer space.
Well, because it's so far and vast. And it's like, you don't know where it ends.
Yeah.
Does it?
And then he said...
There's doors and shit.
There's another video. There's doorways. But he said things are moving. So there's going to be a time, like way ahead of our time now, but like millions of years or whatever, where we're no longer going to see galaxies outside of our own because everything's moving away.
Oh, okay.
So he's like, at that point, we're not going to be able to study anything outside of our own galaxy.
Well, wouldn't we be moving with it?
We are, but I don't know. Ask him. I don't know.
No, are we going the opposite way?
Like everything revolves around us, Jesse.
We're going this way.
It's
Space is
so
going this way.
But I've always like been fascinated by the fact, like, atoms, right? Don't things spin? Like everything spins in an atom?
Yeah, I guess.
In a circle,
right? Yeah, because he has that.
Right?
Yeah.
Isn't that the way planets work?
That's how it seems. Boom, we're an atom.
So why? You know, I mean, it's like on a micro and a macro level, everything behaves the same. Does it? I don't know. Maybe it doesn't. Like, correct me if I'm wrong. If you're a scientist, please, because I've had that. Like, that's
kind of a trip. Yeah,
where it really got me. And like, if the inside on the smallest level of our bodies behaves the way the biggest things in our universe behave.
Well, they kind of do that, like the way like our brains work, and if you see the way like our neurons move and stuff, it's like
they shoot. And
it's like spacey looking. Right. Yeah, you're
and then there's
Kevin
like,
spacey looking.
Yeah, like he was acquitted. I heard. I don't know if that's true, but
he's rich. Of course, he's acquitted.
Rich, right?
Of course,
man. I tell you,
I don't know, to be cute. Because what was he like? Kid shit, right?
Was that it? I don't know if it was actually a kid or like a young adult man. I'm not sure. I don't remember the details.
Either way,
but it was
cute.
Not a nice thing.
It's going to stick with you forever.
Yeah. Well, right. He's lost his career. Well, rather he was acquitted or not. But
yeah.
I don't know.
That like the guy who played his name's Jonathan Majors. He played Kang in the new like Ant-Man movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's things going about like how I think he had an assault with his ex-girlfriend or wife or whatever. I don't know. There was something going on with that allegation. Well, just the allegation itself, they were like, "No, we're done." Yeah. You know, people are like, "No, we're good. We don't want you around." You know,
right? I got you.
It's just, man, you get accused. That's kind of fucks you up. Really,
it's tough. I mean,
you don't
do those types of things. But like,
well, no, like say you did, like you were, like I think for his, there's some proof that he was kind of a dummy, but there's also proof that she was also not as innocent as she's making it seem.
Oh.
Not that it calls for ever hitting anybody.
That's kind of like the Johnny Depp thing. I mean, like that turned out to be.
It's similar in that situation. Yeah. Like that's how it sounds.
They both are kind of not the best.
One was more nutty than the other.
Right.
You know, you shit on someone's bed, you're pretty nuts. I still can't imagine doing that.
So crazy.
I remember. Oh God, I'm gonna go shit on my bed.
Yeah.
I told JJ yesterday I mowed the yard and I was like. And the dog pooped. And I was like, "Hey, can you go pick that up?" You know, like, I was like, "Why can't we just shit in our yard?"
Can you imagine?
My yard.
What's so funny too is dogs are so nervous when they have to poop in a yard.
Oh, dude!
Like if you just like make eye contact with the dog,
he'll stop.
They get all weird. Like they can't hold it anymore because like it's but they totally like freeze up.
No, Rex will.
So weird.
Rex is always like,
but they're always out there doing it.
Well, Otis. Our pug, that dude is, I think he's legit afraid to shit or do something because he'll be like, we'll have him tied up and then he won't go. Then when I let him off, I'll let him like run around for a little bit and I still don't see him go. So I'm just like, okay, let's go. Goes inside, shits. And I'm like, oh,
yeah,
you son of a bitch.
He just prefers the carpet.
Yeah. He's just a nervous pooper. No one's around inside right now.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, like, I caught him one time, and he's like running from me, turds dropping. You son of a bitch! Oh, that's getting. I like almost start laughing because it looks so funny.
It's like a toy.
Like as he's running, he's trying to squat down to get these poops out. Oh, you sick bastard!
Frank, the other night, we have a tiny Chihuahua, and he had a really hard time going to the bathroom, which usually he doesn't, but he screams when he has a hard time because he's like tiny and we're talking like 3-4 pounds.
Yeah, he's a little guy. He's like as big as this cat.
Yeah. I mean, he's itty bitty, and he was all hunched over trying real hard, and he's like, nah, and screaming at his butt. I'm like, dude, I don't know what to tell you. I'm pretty sure
I've been constipated like that before. I get it.
Oh man,
it's like
I'm pretty sure I heard some some nasty stuff coming out of there too. But it's hard to tell when they're that tiny.
Yeah, he's so small.
Yeah,
JJ, that's his.
He still loves that dog.
Oh, it's his favorite animal out of all dogs. Anything that is his favorite. Yeah. He even says, if I get a teacup, Frank will still be my favorite because he's the reason. He's the reason I love teacups is because of him. So even when JJ gets one, he says Frank's still going to be his favorite because of that.
Yeah,
because without Frank, he would have never loved him. So
right, that's true. Hey, look at that! What a way to think about that.
That's what he said.
I couldn't love that dog. It's not the original dog. It's not the reason that I love this dog.
Yeah, that's what he said. Like Frank would still be my favorite because he's the first one I loved. I love that dog.
Yeah.
So I hope
he was my first true love.
He's gonna be heartbroken if Frank ever.
Frank's 7 now. We have a picture. I was laying on the floor.
Does he still look
Frank was a little puppy, and I had my hands like this, and Frank's kind of like sitting in my hands. And he was so tiny then. He was so little. We had to feed him with a syringe.
That's so crazy.
It was insane.
It's a small dog. He's to this day,
he's like smaller than most puppies.
Yeah, he is.
And so then he was like way tinier than, I don't know, something really tiny.
Like this. I feel like he's like this.
Yeah, he was like this big, like the mouse when he was a puppy. I mean, that's like his abdomen today. But like that was his whole body.
Yeah, he's a dog.
It's nuts. That was 7 years ago.
That's crazy.
7 years. I know.
Damn, you and your dogs.
It doesn't feel like that. Yeah, speaking of that, we were out of town yesterday for dogs.
Oh.
We do our fostering, so we drove to Portland. It's about 3.5, 4 hours?
Around there, depending.
There. So we went to Clackamas.
Yeah, it's about 3.5, 4 hours, about 4 hours.
Not as many tents, I don't think.
No, they've actually cleaned up Portland.
So we're driving in and we're taking the exit to go into the Clackamas area that we were going to do the dog show on.
Yeah, or if it's at Sunnyside Road.
It's funny because it's wherever their Home Depot is. It's that exit.
Oh, okay,
because it's right off the freeway.
Yeah.
And I'm like looking, I go, man, there's less tents this time. And she goes, oh, you're less tents? I go, no, there's less tents. Less tents. It's much cleaner this time. She's like, oh.
So you feel better?
Yeah, I feel way better. Yeah.
You're not as tense?
Yeah. I'm like,
dude, puns and shit they run rampant in our house.
And it was so hard to clarify because you really have to enunciate that second T, intense.
It's intense. Yeah, you're not intense. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, you're relaxed. Okay. God.
I'm not now.
We got the biggest argument over it. No, we didn't.
But. I can totally see that happening. Not with you guys, but seriously. Just in general.
No, there's been times in our relationship where it easily would have spiraled that way. We've been doing pretty good. Pretty good lately.
I don't know. The older you get, you just kind of, like me and Alicia do really well. We
just chill a little bit. You know,
obviously she has her moments.
Yeah.
Time of the month seems to be the key, but usually when it's coming, I was like, you know what? I'm going to go outside and do some yard work.
It's kind of like phases of the moon. There's definite phases of the month. And you know what phase you're in, and you know what phase you're in for.
So it's not full moon yet. We're at
we're at 3/4. We're at a waxing wane.
Waxing wane. That's the one.
Whatever they are.
That's the only one I know.
Waxing moon, waning moon. Which is which? I forget. But
I don't know.
Waxing, I think it's getting bigger, right? Waning means it's getting smaller.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So.
Yeah. But it is definitely phase of the moon.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
because I don't know.
I definitely feel for the challenges that women put up with. It's a horrible thing. It's not fair. I wish that didn't happen.
Better you than us.
But thank God. No. I just
literally.
But it's
according to the Bible, that's the reason you girls are
blocking. I had this. She goes, why is it like this? I go, well, honey.
Thank Eve, that bitch.
Had you not given us that apple, would have been a lot better.
The fruit.
Yeah.
It's not an apple. No one knows what it was.
Well, I mean.
How did they assume it's an apple? Dude, this is so weird.
Probably a painting.
That's just...
Maybe it was a beer. Maybe Eve brought him the first beer, and from that day forward...
He's like, bitch, this ain't what I wanted.
Men were alcoholics. Women had painful birth.
And they're still nagging. No, I'm going to go in there. I'm going to talk to him. I'm going to make sure things go right. It's like,
at that
you know
moment,
what? You're going to be on a period.
Yeah.
You can do this once a month.
And you guys get to deal with her.
Yeah.
No,
You're both in trouble for this one.
It's
No. But no, that seriously, though.
It's not fun for anyone involved.
I don't think guys could deal with periods, though.
Guys would be way worse.
You know, like I know periods. We always get
I'm moody without a period.
Yeah.
Like I'm better now. I got back on my anxiety meds and I'm doing way better.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I mean, I can just be super moody.
Yeah, I have my moments where I do, like and I've said this before, I think guys do have their time in a month where your hormones are just kind of whacked out.
Chemicals are off.
Or you're just, you know, we all had that breaking point where it's like, okay, you know, the cup spilleth over.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And then you know, vomit all your emotions out real quick, whether it's throwing something or just bitching to the sky. But like, you know, yeah, you know, some sort of way. But we end up we're moody. We have our moods.
Yeah.
But I know they always say guys are babies, and you know, like so they can handle it. Which, you know, some guys are probably bad. You know, maybe I feel like I'm not really, like, when I get sick, I'm not real baby like.
Blanca says I am, but the reality is her sick and my sick. I think.
No, Alicia, if she ever says it, she's full of shit. She knows, like, when I'm sick, she has to force me to lay down or something.
Yeah.
Because if I'm admit that I'm sick, I won't, you know, like, I don't know. I try to trick myself where I'm like, I'm not sick.
Well, didn't you say you had a coach that told you that once? And that just
he did.
Stuck?
He said, no, it's just in your mind.
It's in your mind.
You're not sick.
Run it.
Go. You got 7 miles to go. Go run it out.
You can beat this sickness.
Fuck you.
If you run fast enough, it'll fall out of your body.
As I'm puking and I die.
Yeah. Well, at least I'm not sick anymore.
See? Told you. It works every time.
Cure.
Running works it every time.
Running, if you do it enough, it can get to the point. It can make you feel a lot better.
It does. But I actually started stretching.
Did you?
This morning.
Yeah, you told me that your other Achilles, not the one that broke, but the other one.
Yeah, my left leg.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's been acting.
So
ever since softball Monday, I was running pretty hard Monday. And it was pretty sore. I don't stretch for shit.
And that's kind of what happened before, right? You were playing football?
I was at Turkey Bowl a few years ago, and yeah, that's when I tore it.
Yeah.
And it sucked. I had to wear a boot forever. I don't want that to happen. But like my left foot started having that same feeling, which it did around the same time as both my feet were feeling that way for a while. But I was like, okay. So I took a few days off of, like, I didn't do yard work. I waited till yesterday. But yeah, I was like, okay, I need to stretch.
Yeah.
So I downloaded a stretchy app thing. It's called Bend, I think it is.
Okay.
And I finally did it today. It's been reminding me for the last few days. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, do the downward dog.
Nice.
I'm doing some stupid.
Good old downward facing dog.
I need to be away from the wife when I do that. Yeah. It just, something about me bent over like that. She really likes it.
Yeah. Likes to poke your booty hole and stuff like that. I don't know. So annoying. Sometimes I'll be doing push-ups in between the dogs and my wife. I'm like, leave me alone.
Oh yeah. At least he will do, like, if I get up or I do something, she'll be like, boop.
Yeah. And I mean, like, I do stuff back to her sometimes. But, you know, there's like moments. Like, if I'm halfway through a set of push-ups, like, leave me alone. I got to get through this shit. Like,
oh no, there's been times. Alicia, she fucks with me all the time like that. Or if I'm going to sit down, she's notorious for doing that. Like, I'll go to sit on the couch and she'll be like, so there's been times where I'm like, I'll put my hand there because I just feel like it's coming.
Yeah. Right.
She's like, "Wow, why are you so like?
Why are you scared?"
Yeah. Like, cause man, I don't know. I'm just not in the mood for a finger in the butt today.
What is with women?
Maybe later.
With our buttholes.
Yeah. Tonight, maybe. Since you're on your period.
Yeah.
Tonight you can play with my booty hole.
I'll let you poke me in the butt.
Speaking of butts, no, I'm just kidding. Oh, you know, speaking of space, so I watched that 65 movie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it was cool. And I'll make this one quick. But it was 65. He was. I had a hard time knowing what the title was about when I first watched previews. I wasn't really, I guess I never really paid attention, but it turns out he actually ends up crash landing on Earth 65 million years ago. So it's like dinosaurs and stuff. And so him and this little girl are trying to escape the planet Earth because they want to get home. Yeah, I must either dozed off or I missed what the ship was, but there was a few people on there.
Okay.
Anyway, they end up hitting a bunch of asteroids, fucks up the ship, of course, and then he goes down, and the people that were on the ship, most of them died, except for him and that little girl. He found one.
Not his kid?
No, not
just
his
some
kid.
Random kid?
Yeah, no, not his kid. You see his kid in the beginning and stuff, and there's a whole story behind that, so I won't go ruin it for anybody. But it was a good movie. Adam Driver's the main actor, but I really thought the concept of him crash landing on Earth 65 million years ago is that kind of tripped me out. I thought that was cool.
Nuts.
Like he was there, like he comes to Earth and it's dinosaurs, and so for him, he's like, "Where the fuck am I? This is like a psycho place. I want to get home, dude.
Right.
Like I want to go to my planet Umbop."
The Hanson planet.
Yeah. That's how. Hey, radio waves are out there. Some aliens right now are jamming out to that.
That actually is probably their language. They're like, we're destroying your world tomorrow.
That sounds like an alien language. But no, 65, it was a cool movie. It was
not to be confused with 365.
No, 365 is a raper
Totally
movie.
different.
65 is not a raper movie.
Right.
He's getting raped by dinosaurs in parts of the show.
Right.
There's times where he gets hurt or something. You're like, fuck, this guy can't catch a break.
Is it like
it's a short movie. It's about
what's the movie with Leonardo DiCaprio where he gets attacked by the bear?
Not as rapey as that.
Not as bad as that. Okay.
No, where he gets.
That was rough.
Yeah.
That was real rough.
God, what was that movie called? Someone's screaming out.
If you wanted to say Deliverance, it wasn't Deliverance.
No.
That one, I would take the bear mauling over that.
Yeah, Reverend.
Give me a bear any day. Yeah.
I think it's called The Reverend.
The Reverend. Which Reverend sounds worse than Deliverance, right?
Reverend sounds like calming, though. It sounds like a bad word, but it also sounds like it's like reverent.
What is reverent?
Like you have reverence for something, right? Like
what
isn't that respect?
Like reverence? Like maybe.
Here, hey Google, what does revenant mean?
Here's the definition of revenant: a person who has returned, especially supposedly from the dead.
Oh, I guess that makes sense.
Oh,
he did get
like a resurrection.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
well,
Jesus was reverent. Yeah. No, I guess that makes sense. He did get fucked up by that bear. That
was rough.
I guess that was based on loosely based on a true story.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know.
But that's weird then, because Revenant and Deliverance do have somewhat of a connection in there.
I don't remember Deliverance. Is that the one where he's like scrubbing his body? Because it was
Deliverance was it Bruce Reynolds in it?
Burt Reynolds.
Bruce. I knew that sounded wrong. I was trying to figure it out. That's why I hesitated with Reynolds. I think Burt Reynolds was in it, and they're in I don't know, somewhere deep south, somewhere in the woods.
It sounds rapery, though.
The guy does that to him, and he's like, "Squeal, little piggy." It's really messed up. Really messed up
without the kids around.
Yeah, don't watch it with the kids. I mean, it's an older movie, so it's less graphic than it would be today. Like today, they'd have a fake dildo, and.
But see, to be honest with you, I think that's what's wrong with some movies, though. It's things are so real where it's it's not as fun.
I agree.
You know what I mean? Like scary movies,
they show too much.
Yeah, scary movies are meant to fuck with your head.
Yes,
a good scary movie, you're not going to see anything nasty,
right?
But you're going to feel that emotionally
it's
somehow.
The buildup of tension, and then this real quick shock that's too fast for you to really comprehend.
And then later on, you're thinking about it, and you're like, "Oh Lord."
Yeah. Some of the scariest movies, that's the mastery of it. And I love the movie The Shining, which is a classic, older movie.
See, they got a sequel out of that. I didn't watch that.
I've never seen it.
It even has a kid from The Shining.
Danny.
Yeah.
That's right. Mm-hmm. It's recent.
Yeah.
That's last right. Few years. Because it was, what's his name?
But it's the same kid, right?
McGregor.
Ewan McGregor, yeah.
That's
But he's older or whatever.
but he's older. Danny.
Red rum. I got to rewatch that movie.
It's so good. Jack Nicholson was incredible in it because he's basically insane.
Well, he's psycho.
So much.
Like when you see Bruce Willis.
When you see Bruce Wayne out there.
But when you see Jack Nicholas,
yippee-ki-yay, Danny.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
It's in the door, yippee-ki-yay.
Can you imagine Jack Nicholson playing, or is it Jack Nicholson?
Yeah, plays Jack.
I didn't know if it was Jack Nicholson or Jack Nicholas.
Oh no, Jack Nicholson. Nicholas is a golfer.
He's a golfer. Okay, that's why I always get confused. But can you see him playing Bruce Willis, and instead of Bruce Willis being in Die Hard, it's Jack Nicholson?
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. That would be so great.
Like, I always just see him as the Joker.
Yeah, he was a pretty epic Joker.
He was. Oh,
Yeah.
he was, yeah, for sure.
His dance as Joker. Wasn't he dancing in a parade or something?
Yeah.
That was great.
Oh, shit. I'm getting caught. Like, whoa. Caught a fish.
Man.
I tried fishing. Me and Tom went on our kayaks,
Yeah.
which was really nice. It was
That
beautiful
was
out.
great. That was
Took them
amazing.
out on like Thursday or something.
Yeah, we found lily pads
Yeah.
in the river
Mm-hmm.
in a place that looks like the Everglades.
It really
was
did.
pretty
We
wild.
were going through the like tall grass trying to see if we can make our way around.
Yeah. Didn't have to turn
Frogs
around.
started singing la 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 la.
I was going to say that. They're trying to get us to kiss. It was the weirdest thing.
I know.
Didn't do it. We made you
Animals
guys
were
proud.
floating above us. It was very beautiful.
There was a random table set up, a barrel.
He's not lying about the table.
Yeah.
There was this island part we come up to, and I was like, dude, what is that a table?
It was like
Am I
a
am I fucking tripping?
card table.
Yeah, it was a card
Like
table.
if you think about the table that
I
your
don't know if I just
grandparents
said
would
cock
pull
table.
out to play cock with their friends, it was that kind of pull-out table.
Yeah, it was.
And it was just sitting on the shore of an island out there.
Yeah, there's nothing around.
There's nothing
it's not
around
like you can
it.
get to it without getting on a boat.
We
or
were
something.
just joking about the serial killer.
Yeah,
like-
what was that serial killer that like wanted to get tied up and
Yeah.
he would rape himself?
So that serial killers podcast I was telling you guys about. I forget the name of the serial killer. It doesn't matter. You can listen to their podcast to find out. But this guy would tie himself up and like torture himself and then like masturbate because it got him really excited.
Yeah,
And
as he's tied up,
He
obviously.
would go to the woods to do this so he wouldn't get caught. And he was like an avid hunter and outdoorsman. So like I'm thinking super like butch, like guy's guy.
Yeah, just beard.
And just out there like
Nasty.
tying himself up in ladies' panties and like, doing horrible things to himself. And so I was joking about that. And then we see this card table
Like, oh.
by itself. We're like, well, let's steer away from that island. And
Yeah,
then we found that barrel.
Yeah, there's barrels sticking out of the water.
Yeah.
And it's just sitting there. And
It kind of felt like that Lake Mead, with all the bodies in the barrel. But
I did poke it.
Felt pretty solid.
I think there was sand in it.
Yeah, I think.
Or a lot of bodies.
What I'm wondering is if, since it's so shallow there, if instead of a buoy, if they use that as a marker to warn
it could be.
boats that it's shallow. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's like half the barrel sticking out.
Yeah.
You can tell some people shot at it and were idiots. But it was really cool, very beautiful.
Yeah,
But I went
loud people
fishing.
out there.
I tried to fish a little bit, not like too crazy. Yeah, super loud people.
Yeah.
Woo!
It's amazing.
Woo!
Noise
I'm
carries
like
over
looking for
water.
titties, all that screaming.
Yeah. Nope. Just guys.
No girls gone wild.
Just the boys out there.
They're like flapping. You hear his little slapping against.
Yeah, lots of guy titties. Not any girl ones.
What is it when you make your wiener? When you wiggle it
Yeah,
to it,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Guys
Yeah.
know what I'm talking about. Every guy out here has done that once.
Helicoptering.
Yeah, where you smack it, you
Helicoptering. I
I've
think, is
done
when you
that.
make it go in a
I've
circle.
done that within the month, last
Yeah.
month. Like I came out of the shower, Lisi's in the bed, and I was like, "Hey, babe."
Just trying to dry off. Air dry.
She's like, "You're done."
Oh God.
But it was funny. Last night we were talking, and we were talking about I don't know what it came up about sex or something, but we were just having a conversation, and I was like, "What if when you came, it made like a noise? What if when I ejaculated, it was like,
Right.
Would you like that? Like if you knew?" She's like, no, that's be disgusting.
Would you like that if you knew?
That's what I told
from
her.
the noise that my penis makes.
Would that turn you on hearing my? Oh, girl, that felt so good. Because she's like that. Then she goes, yeah. She's like, that's not fair. How come girls we have to worry about like it making noises, but you guys don't? Like that's not right. Why can't
Life's
penises make noises? Well, you guys shouldn't eat the apple.
Yeah,
right. That's why.
Yeah,
it's Eve's fault. You know,
it's not us saying it. It's the Bible.
It's the Bible. It's historic. That's in history.
As you guys know, we are both church-going men. There's no arguing with the Bible.
But
yeah. No, I don't know. It would be, I don't think very attractive, but I'm not a woman, so I don't, I don't know.
No, it'd be weird, to be honest.
If your wiener essentially farted out,
like when you like, you know, came like that'd be weird.
Well,
like an empty bottle of ketchup.
Cartoons, like I feel like that's kind of a thing, right? Like not in reality, but like a right?
Yeah.
Like, has that been done?
I don't know. That'd be crazy.
Somewhere that's been done.
Oh, I'm sure.
Right? Because it seems it's like too universal an idea.
Oh, yeah.
You know. But yeah, sexy, that'd be pretty great if it was like a sexy thing. I don't know.
Like, dude, I love the way he makes those fart noises with his wiener.
That'd suck though, because none of us would be able to do it. We'd all be like, we'd hate ourselves because we couldn't make our penis.
I can't do it. My penis hole's too small.
I don't feel like I'm real mad because my penis never farts when I ejaculate.
That'd be so
it's a real problem.
I'd be so scared if it ever did, though.
Golly.
You know, I don't know. That's a whole different weird ass conversation.
If I ever did, I'd be very self-conscious.
But I guess I can end. This question's totally like off from what we were just talking about.
Anything. All right.
So we're gearing in a little more seriousness.
Okay.
Maybe.
Let me pull it together.
But no. It's my notes from a few weeks ago. But I was thinking, does sometimes having kids make you as an adult sideline your dreams? You know, like you have like certain aspirations to want to do something, but like then you have kids.
Sometimes.
Do you have to curb that because now you got to take care of this kid? You know what I mean?
So,
and that's a general question.
Yeah.
I know some people plan on it, so that's part of their plan.
Right. I mean, like if your only goal is to have kids, no, you've done it.
Yeah.
Your goal's met.
Done.
Most people though, like that was kind of me growing up. That's the interesting thing is like, I was one of those people, like I wanted a family. I knew I wanted a family. I didn't really know what I wanted to do for sure for work, but I knew I wanted to have a family someday. But once I had a family and was an adult, then it was like all these things I realized maybe I'd experienced as a younger person and didn't really realize I cared about, like camping is a perfect example.
Yeah.
I had years where I worried about, you know, my plan was to find somebody, like get married, settle down. That's what you do.
Yeah.
I didn't really consider a life where that wasn't the way it worked.
Well, okay, by the time I'm 22, I need to be here, and here. Yeah,
it was a stupid way of looking at life. Like I'm going to go to school, graduate, go to college, meet somebody, get married, have kids. That's your life. That's how life works. Yeah. I didn't really think outside of the box.
Like I'm going to live life where I'm going to actually like.
Yeah. Like I just figured that things
just
sort of happen and you just kind of keep moving through those things. Yeah. So then I, happily found myself married and with kids, but then sitting with the baby, not being able to do anything because, I've talked about it before. Blanc and I had off schedules and stuff like that.
Yeah. Been there.
Very depressing. And that was when I felt like this unrealized need for things like camping or, outdoors, hiking, those types of activities that as a younger person, I really didn't care about. I never once went anywhere when I was in college. And if I were the person I was today, I would have done it all the time because I would have realized how much I enjoyed it.
Yeah. See, that's how it is for me too. Like, it took me up until the last 10 years, we'll say 15 years, maybe. Yeah. That like, whoa, camping's kind of cool.
Right. And I think it's like a maturity thing. I mean, I don't know. There's some parts of things I like to do that I've always liked to do. Yeah. Right. But then there's things that, like, again, I grew up camping, but I definitely went through a phase and I was like in my teen years, I didn't care for it. Yeah. Didn't want anything to do with it. Yeah. And then I've kind of gone full circle. I don't know if it's the memories of having done that and wanting my kids to have that, or if it's just I really like it. But have really gotten back into that. So like, I don't know. It's so tricky because but there's the responsibility then.
Yeah.
You know,
so you pause, you got to pause. You got to like take certain things in stride.
Right. But then, you can take that to the point of like, I just want to be a singer. All my life I've wanted to be a singer.
Yeah.
And I never gave myself the opportunity. I'm going to quit my job, sell our house, move all of us to Los Angeles so I can become a singer. Like, do you do that? Yeah.
See, and I wonder if there's people who have like an aspiration like that, or they could have been somewhere, but all of a sudden they, had the kids, and it's not that they're like ungrateful that they had these kids and they're like, don't hate their life.
Yeah. Right.
Because they're like a part of them that do want to like, you know what, we're packing up, we're going to Nashville, I'm going to be country star.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But no, I think the way you say it too, though, is just like, now that you have kids, you realize I do like camping. Right. I do like doing this shit. Kind of.
Yeah. Sadly, sometimes
I can't always do these things.
Right.
Because I have bills now. I got, got to worry about, this week we got to focus on this or that. Right. So now I got to fit these things in when I can.
Absolutely.
And that's always the catch. JJ actually asked me, do you still go hunting, Dad?
Oh, yeah.
It was either this morning or no, it was this morning. And I was like, well, do you still turkey hunt? And I was like, well, not that I don't. It's just, I told him, hey, bud, I didn't grow up doing that stuff. Like I didn't, oh no, it was last night. I was like, I didn't grow up doing that. I didn't grow up like, like I didn't know any of that stuff until later on in my life, like 10 years ago, maybe less than that about hunting. That I actually kind of enjoy that. Like, right. For me, I told him I didn't have like a dad or someone to show me these things. It was just my mom. Oh, you didn't have a dad? I'm like, no, I didn't. Right. I told him, I didn't mean my dad to tell I was this old. And he's like, oh, wow. But like the cool thing is like, he wants to go fishing. He just asked me this morning.
Oh, that's cool. God, Elliot.
He's like, I really want to go fishing. I was like, you know what? We'll try to go fishing this coming week, which I really want to try because that's the thing I was thinking about a few days ago, a couple weeks ago. I don't know. I was thinking about this I always complain, like think to myself, I can't do this stuff. But here it is, like my son wants to do this. And, I always have the excuse, I don't know how to do this because I've never done it. But it's like, well, let's learn this together. We can make this, that's like a core memory now.
Right.
Oh yeah. I learned fishing with my dad.
For sure. Yeah.
And then, I don't think about me teaching my son to fish, which is helping me learn. But when he's older, he's going to be that much ahead to teach his kids.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And so it's going to be nice because although I didn't grow up doing that stuff, he's going to hopefully him and, maybe Elena or whatever, they'll carry that tradition where it's like, they kind of like going camping or they like doing this stuff because they did that as kids. Like you grew up with that. Yeah. Like you grew up doing some certain things.
Yeah, for sure.
Which you later on in life realize you actually do like, somewhere down the line, you weren't into it or whatever. But then now you're like, oh shit, that shit's kind of fun. And so that's kind of where I was like, you know what? I need to kind of like just do it.
Right.
Stop sitting around. Just get it. Just do it. You might not know what the fuck you're doing, but hey, at least you're out there. I don't know how to fish. It's fun.
Yeah.
I suck at it.
It's funny because Elliot asked me the same questions just the other day. He's like, Dad, do you still go turkey hunting? I said, son, when I go turkey hunting, I drink a lot and never shoot a turkey. I go turkey hunting every day. No, I'm just joking. That never happened. But I think we could not go fishing and not go turkey hunting, and it's essentially the same thing.
It is. We ain't catching shit.
We have never shot anything, and we've never caught anything.
We went turkey hunting and shot guns.
In fairness, we're trying to fish on a river, and we're not. Yeah, we shot our guns, not at anything.
Just like it was like a barrel, or it was fucking. I don't know what it was. A tree.
Yeah, I mean, we just scared all the animals away. We're like,
we were already like, we're going home the next day. It's not like it's gonna work.
It was a great trip, though.
It was fun. We need to do that again.
I honestly don't care. I prefer not to have to shoot an animal. I just love being out there, the whole feeling of it.
I think that's what it is.
You know, it's fun to carry a gun around. Like, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I like the act of hunting. I don't really care if I hunt. Like,
see, I don't know what I would do if I did, because I don't have any, like I said, hunting for us.
right.
We've never hunted, or at least I know I didn't hunt until recently.
I never did.
So
I've seen videos of things, but
my buddy Bucket took me out hunting for the first time. Popped my hunting cherry, but we never caught anything.
right.
So it's not like I would even know what to do once I shot it. Like, I'm gonna butcher the fuck out of this animal, which is not okay.
Right.
Like, I want to do it in a way where it's like I'm getting the most out of what I have. You know what I mean?
Right. Exactly.
So I needed to
Honor
go.
the animal.
It's almost like we need to go hunting, but we need to go with someone who
has
this.
a clue what they're doing. Yeah.
Like, I think I'd feel okay like doing the cutting and stuff.
Yeah. Fish is fine. Like, it's
an
that's
animal
easy.
though. That'd be weird.
I've caught and gutted fish several times in my life, but yeah, it's I mean, it's same basic principles, I'm sure, but
you just got fur.
Because I've watched a video where a guy like cleaned a turkey, and I know that but it's I don't know, like you're saying, there's a movie where this kid gets rid of everything in his life and he runs off to
into the wild.
Yeah. And he kills a moose. Thank God. He needs this meat to survive the winter. He doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah. And that's a big no, but I haven't seen the movie. So I know what movie you're talking about.
He's cutting this moose up and he's taking these parts of this moose, but he can't do it fast enough. He doesn't know how. So before he can get the meat harvested, there's flies all over it. He starts to see that they're laying eggs in it. It's ruined.
Oh.
And he's devastated because like this is his chance to survive the winter, and it's done. Like, it's rotten. It's bad meat.
It took him that
and
long.
He wasted this majestic animal's life.
Yeah, for nothing. Yeah.
I kind of feel the same way when I have to throw out like meat products. It's like, this cow gave me its life, so I could throw it in the garbage.
Yeah. I guess I think killing the animal it would be a little tougher.
Yeah.
Like.
Right.
And wasting it, being wasteful in that sense, that would suck.
It'd be very direct. Like, I murdered you, and then
I was gonna eat you, but you know what? I realized that I don't like beef.
This is gross.
I hate the taste of deer. Like, what was I thinking? I don't even like turkey.
The most disgusting thing in the world.
Although the one thing I do want to do, like the hunting, I'll end on this, I guess, is I want to go chicken hunting. For wild chicken.
Chicken hunting.
No, I'm just kidding.
That sounds like a plan. We might actually get one.
I want to see a wild chicken, though. They got to exist.
Are they smart enough to exist?
I don't know.
We met a gal that has a turkey as a pet.
Okay.
And she said it's actually really nice, but it's only going to live like 3 years, and they can easily get fat enough that they fall over and can't walk anymore. So
holy shit, that's where I was a few years ago.
They've been bred for like to get fat quickly for Thanksgivings, so
what?
Yeah,
that's so crazy.
They have a pet turkey.
Hey, Gobbler, come here.
Yeah, I guess it's super nice. I was blown away. She's one of the other fosters that we work with. We were trading dogs off yesterday morning before we went to Portland.
Does her dogs get along with it?
She's the puppies that we took for her were just getting big enough that she didn't really trust them anymore.
Oh.
When they were little, she didn't care if they were around, but she goes, now they're big enough, like they would play with them littler and it wouldn't hurt, but she's like, they're big enough now, they could probably do some damage. So at that point they didn't. But.
Yeah, Bucket's dog one time got into our neighbor's yard and I was like trying to get I happened to see the dog in the yard and I was like, oh shit. I forgot what his dog's name was.
Blue?
We'll say Blue.
Maybe
Lily
not.
or something. It's a girl dog.
Okay.
Blue. You're my boy, Blue.
Maybe that's what I'm
But he had two. They were like healers.
Yeah,
blue healers.
Right.
I think that's maybe where you got the blue.
Maybe that's where I got it.
But
yeah, super sweet dogs.
But our neighbors had chickens. Or he still does have chickens.
Not the same ones, I'm guessing.
Well, no, this dog went into, because at the time he was growing like corn, or he had some like something going on in the middle of his yard. And all of a sudden I see the dog coming out with a chicken in its mouth.
Oh.
It didn't kill it.
Just had it.
Yeah. I was like, hey, put that down. What are you doing?
Oh,
know,
I'm not
like,
doing
hey.
anything.
I had to tell him, my neighbor about it, and
Yeah.
I obviously let Bucket know too. But they didn't end up killing it.
That's
He was trying to play. You can see the dog wanted to play. It didn't want to eat. It just
come on, let's have a good time.
Yeah, come on out. It's something I could see Rex doing.
Yeah,
like I'm not going to eat you, but I'm going to like put my mouth on you,
right,
and bring you over.
I'll make you come over and play with me.
Yeah, that's what he does at Otis.
yeah,
bites him on the neck and then pulls him.
I've seen that.
But that's all I got.
I guess I'm done too. I don't really have anything else. But hey, if you're needing a good beverage, you want something that has some IPA flavor, try Athletic Brewing Company.
Yeah, I caught a little buzz.
IPA. Yeah, I'm totally blitzed.
I'm so blitzed. Yeah. Only 65 calories.
Yeah, I saw that. I don't know what the calorie count on a normal beer is, but I think a lot more than 65.
There's water, malted barley, oats, hops, wheat, and yeast.
There you go.
Yeast infected beer.
Everything you need for an IPA.
That's why IP smells weird. It smells like a yeast infection.
It's tainted.
Anyway,
all right, guys. Have a good one.
Later.